And we are live, another edition of Next Round, a cocktail hour with Kelly Hunter and Brittany Wagner. I am Lance Taylor for the next round. As you can see on set, something looks a little off, something looks a little weird. Somebody's drinking
looks a little weird.
One of our great sponsors here,
yes.
Coca-Cola and Sprite. It is dry April for you.
Why?
It is.
Pourquoi?
It's also the Sprite.
Not for you and I, though.
No.
So drink up, Buttercup.
Okay,
Let
so
me tell you.
Cheers. Naomi, Pinot Noir is what we're going with from our friends at Constellation Brands. Popping this for me and Kel.
Thank you.
So I have done, this is going to be sad. I started drinking when I was 15. I think a lot of people did. And
nothing wrong with that.
Since that time, I have had 2 dry months.
Really?
I've been dry the entire month. I did both the month of February because it is a boring, slow month. This is back.
Except the Super Bowl.
Back when the Super Bowl was the last weekend of January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't start until then, and I would go until March, and I made it twice, and it wasn't a big deal.
Okay. When was the last time you did it?
The last time I did it, I was doing a show with Dunaway and Brown, so it's probably been a decade. It's been about 10 years.
Okay.
But the thing is, I didn't feel any better. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I didn't lose a pound. I don't know, so it didn't do anything for me. But good luck.
Why?
Well,
is there a reason? Tell me.
Cheers.
Yeah,
cheers.
y'all cheers.
Also, my triplets are 12 today.
Oh,
I'm
happy
celebrating
birthday,
75% of my
Here we
children's
go.
birthdays today. So yes,
12. Yay.
I feel a lot better today than I did 12 years ago.
Are you a big Pinot drinker?
Yeah, Pinot's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Pinot was my favorite, and I've gone to Cab, like a little heavier now, but I still love Pinot.
The big shoulders.
And it's got the big shoulders, and the Naomi is one of my favorites. I am going to. We're just re-sending out. By the way, we are live, so any questions you guys have, we're going to go through some adulting, some adventure, some advice. We've got some pretty cool stuff today. But anything you guys have, let us know. And
I'm just trying to retweet here. I'm struggling technically right now, and that's okay.
Because again, I won't be back next week.
Tell them why. Because this is accountability. Like if you say it,
I know. I am supposed to get my tonsils out.
You're going to do it.
I mean, I'm locked and loaded right now. I went to the pre-surgery consultation last week in Grandview, and I've never had surgery before, so I'm a little anxious.
I'm baffled about. So, do you like your doctor? That's the first question.
Yeah, he's supposed to be really good.
Okay.
So we'll see.
It's gonna be fine.
You want your doctor and your attorney to be kind of cocky and confident.
Yeah.
And just kind of.
There's a nervous side about the surgery, and then there is the terrifying side of how bad this is going to hurt. I've not run into one person that has had tonsils out post the age of 20 that has not said, "I can't tell you how bad it is."
Well, they're not as tough as you. Come on.
You guys are the women, the childbearing women. I will give y'all credit. Y'all's pain for tolerance or tolerance for pain is a lot higher than guys.
I would agree.
Yeah, and especially like if you've never had anything like this done, like when I had this was what pushed it over the edge for me to finally get it done. The fact that I can't sleep too. When I had tonsillitis in December or January, I couldn't swallow, so I had to stay up all night, and it killed. So I'm just going to assume it's going to be like that for a couple of weeks.
No, a weeks? I don't know. I think days.
He said worse. He said I can't eat solids for 10 days. I can't work out for 10 days.
Well, yeah, because you're trying to let it heal. I mean, they're leaving open sores in your mouth, and so you're trying to you don't want to be going like to work out. You're
milkshakes. You get to drink milkshakes.
I do, and I'm going to ground up edibles. I'm going to put some Delta 8 in them and smoothies. I really am.
And why not?
Because that's going to help cut the pain. And
aren't you going to have pain medicine too?
Yeah, but I can do it all on top of each other.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
But I did ask my ENT.
Come on.
I asked my ENT.
Dr. Kelly says it's fine. Go ahead.
Dr. Elledge is my ENT, and I asked him, I said, can I drink bourbon after the procedure? And he said, if you can, you can. Go ahead. So
I mean, I would go with more of your mild.
It's going to burn like hell, man.
Don't go with my Bookers that I was given this as a gift this weekend.
Have you ever put
it? Didn't last long.
Have you ever rubbed alcohol on an open sore?
That looks
that's what that's going to feel like to your throat.
129 proof.
That looked good.
Some of it made it through the weekend, right?
Geez.
Wow.
Yeah. That was neat too, but boy, that's good. So if I did the Bookers, it probably would really hurt. Okay, enough about me.
No, we need because that means you won't be here next Tuesday with us. So
that's we'll have a guest.
So Tom says I've had a rotator cuff surgery on both shoulders. By the way, mine are both torn. And I I bear with it. He says you can handle tonsils, LOL. But if you had your tonsils out, Tom, that's what I wonder.
Yeah, Tom, do you have tonsils?
I've never had tonsils out.
I haven't either.
I've had 9 back surgeries, and I had
Holy
carry
shit.
triplets. And yeah, that's like my like surgery is kind of my hobby. It's my thing.
So Jack is only 15, and I was talking about it the other day. He was in Tuscaloosa with me, and I was like, "Oh, this is the first one." He goes, "I've gotten 4. You'll be fine."
Yeah.
So
I love that. Yeah, your son is.
That's
like,
that's pretty good.
Hey,
Your son comes back.
Sometimes think about that. You think about what your kids have been through.
No, I know, but the kids are like women. Kids are very resilient. Guys, and I can admit this. Like when I had the tonsillitis, I mean, I'm a complete baby when I'm sick. I don't get sick much, but when I'm sick, it's awful.
Sorry, didn't mean to. I wasn't trying to signal you there.
See me.
So, but think about it, because I give my husband a hard time constantly about what would you have done if you were in like World War I? Think about that. Like men complain constantly about. No, I'm like, if you had trench foot, or if you were in World War II in a foxhole, I mean, think about like you're like this country would be a different place with. I mean,
no, this country wouldn't be run by
if
Americans.
if we counted on the men today to serve and protect the way they. I mean, seriously. I mean, we were watching 1917, and they're showing
That's a great movie,
it is a great movie, and you're looking at trench warfare.
Yeah, no.
Oh my God, with rats and dead bodies, and just you're like.
So
I'm sorry.
3425 says almost died from gallbladder surgery and lived to tell the tale. You'll be all right, thanks. That's what I really, really want to hear.
Does anyone have a positive experience
No, that's what I want.
that they can share? Because I don't think we need.
When I went through the pre-surgery, they asked me, they're like, religious affiliate. I'm like, any reason you need to know?
I mean,
they want to know if you want a priest.
Hey,
to come and
I'll come donate blood if you need a blood transfusion.
What's your blood type?
I'm not O. They said they was one of the things they had to draw blood.
Yeah.
They were like, we need to know your blood type, and I was like, for whatever reason, I've always known it's O positive.
I don't know mine.
Most people don't.
I'm like A positive. So this past weekend, I don't know why. I'm not really. I think it's a generational thing. Like I need to know what's on TV to decide what I'm watching. I'm not an explorer.
I'm an explorer.
So I happened to be exploring this weekend, and I was watching on Netflix. It was like one of the top 10 shows. It was like NYC 911 or NYC Emergency.
Do you get suckered in?
Oh my gosh! Like 3 episodes in, I'm convinced. I'm like, I think I need I'm in liver failure or something. It's one of those like you start to watch it and you're self-diagnosing.
Do you the older you get, like today? And I think I'd eaten some almonds. It was earlier during the show. My heart started to hurt. I'm like,
oh,
here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
No, but I get those little pains. Like I'll have a
big
sharp pain in the back, and I'll be like, damn, is that a kidney?
Yeah.
Like things I used to never worry about, but now I start to think, man, I'm getting old enough that
And you're like,
this shit can be real.
But also you're like, I've earned it. Like there's some of that stuff where it comes on, you're like, I probably deserve some of this. Like there's I've seen this coming. Like this isn't coming out of the blue. Like this 34-year-old marathoner who has a heart attack.
Next from Cocktail Hour, we're drinking the Meiomi. The Pinot Noir is brought to you by Constellation Brands, and of course Blakelee's Bouquets. We don't have a fresh bouquet here, but we have Easter coming up.
They're busy.
They are
this
busy.
They're cranking
weekend,
stuff
it snuck
out.
up on me.
Yeah, so I've got the Masters this weekend. I've got Easter, and I don't have a place to stay.
It's a good weekend to be on the sofa, though.
Yeah, wherever that sofa is going to be. New baby gifts, birthday flowers, wedding flowers, funeral flowers, Blakelee'sBouquets.com. So I want to go back to the dry April.
Yeah.
Because I think it is awesome. I think your body needs that time sometimes. I took Sunday night off. I did. I really did.
Well, we're only 4 days in.
Okay.
So let's not get let's don't get too excited. However, I am kind of glad I'm saying it out loud because now
It's accountability.
if I fail.
How about this? Michael says Brittany looks younger. I need to drink more Sprite.
Oh, wow.
So maybe 4 days in, you got to glow already.
Thanks, Michael. But does that mean I looked old before?
No, he just said you look younger.
Younger. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
You could look 30
Good.
to him, and you could look 28 today.
See?
Speaking of which,
4 days
you get
in.
to see this. Our great, and I'll let you finish with that. Our great sponsor here,
Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
I heard.
They put that cooler in. It is so cool.
I can't wait to go see.
That is cool. And it's the Sprite Green Room.
Yeah.
I
So, anyway.
Okay. I did it last year. I did it for a month last year. I think I made it without cheating, but I can't really recall. The year before that, I did a cleanse. So I went like 10 days, but I was doing a juice cleanse and I went 10 days without it. And I don't know. I just feel like I don't drink in excess very often, but I drink often.
On the reg.
A lot,
Yeah,
like on the reg. And so I'm like, that's probably not good. And I think I've gotten too used to it, like too accustomed to just popping one open.
Yeah.
And I think my body needs like a break.
Yeah.
Like I feel like my body is like not responding well to it anymore.
Okay.
So I'm doing this workout challenge this month. I'm like, there's no way I can do this workout challenge and drink. I'll die. Like my body will literally shut down.
I remember someone saying that.
So I just decided like, I'm going to do it all in one, and I'm going to just, I'm just going to do
I'm
it.
going to pull. I'm pulling for you. I would say next week we'll see where you are. You'll see where she is. I won't be here. I think Jim Dunaway is going to be doing this with you guys.
Well, I remember somebody telling me one time, like women in particular, you need to like find things like to challenge yourself, like in different ways. You know,
I'm not scared of a challenge.
Wait, hey.
Picking up something new.
2 bottles tonight and 4 episodes of NY whatever.
Exactly. I mean, well, that's funny because so after speaking of my triplets, after I had them, I went to a nutritionist because I was like, I need to figure out like what to put in my body because I was nursing them and I'm like, so what do I need to be doing? So, and she's like, okay, well, take me through your day. And I was like, okay, and we're gonna build around the wine. And she goes, the wine. I go, that is like that. If that's a brick in what we're building, that is like the cornerstone because that is a constant. In my day, it will happen. And so, that is.
See,
it's a constant in mind.
I want to start eating clean because I've had some of this clean food and it's really good. If you have the right person that knows how to do the recipes and stuff. And I do want to pull back because like I enjoy, like I haven't seen this week's Yellow Jackets yet. So tonight I plan on popping a good bottle of wine and sitting back and watching an episode of that. But that one bottle of wine or that one glass turns into the entire bottle. It's hard for me to pop a bottle without the bottle. Like I never go home and there's a bottle that's got a cork in it.
Mm-mm. I do, but like because I said last month, okay, I'm going to be on it's a 2 drink like maximum for me. Like that was my challenge to myself. I think start in January, like my New Year's resolution. I was like 2 drink maximum for 60 days. Yeah, I can't do it.
I think we shattered it here.
I don't do it. And so, I mean, sometimes I do, but like, and so I'm like, I've got to just go cold turkey. Like I just need to not do it at all.
Okay. It's next round cocktail hour.
I think
don't be proud of me yet.
You're good.
I'm only 4 days in.
Brittany Wagner, Kelly Hunter, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. Like, subscribe, tell all your friends about Next Round Cocktail Hour, brought to you by Constellation Brands and Blakelee's Bouquets. Again, Easter flowers, anniversary arrangements, wedding flowers, funeral flowers, Blakelee's Bouquets.com. So one thing I did want to ask, and this is a great question. If your younger self could see where you are now, what would they say? Younger self could see where you are now, what would they say?
Holy shit.
You've had an interesting journey. I think you've had one. You know, I think when we're kids, most people have like, I won't say like outlandish dreams of where they're going to end up, but most of the stuff is not realistic.
No, it's the top. You're never settling when you're talking about like what you. Like I laugh when my daughter's where she wants to go to college. Like it's like I'm going to go to Baylor. I'm going to go to TCU. I'm going to get like, and it's just like those are all great schools, and she's rattling them off. And it's never like I think I'm going to go to a community college. Like it's never one of those where it's like very realistic. I mean, I'm granted there are kids I'm sure that are very like pragmatic and realistic and have a plan, but most people are like, oh, I'm going to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader for sure.
Yeah. And people, you should kind of shoot big, like shoot for the stars or whatever.
Well, let's just start. What did you think? And even in high school, what was a realistic goal for you in high school?
Honestly, like, I don't know. I mean, this sounds terrible. I don't think I had goals. I think that's how, like,
live in the moment, just enjoy in high school.
I don't know. I mean, I wanted to go to Florida State. That was like my dream school. I didn't do it.
That's not a high bar. You could have gotten in Florida State.
I didn't think I could though. Like I just had no confidence, like that I could go do anything. I wanted to be Erin Andrews, but then I chickened out on that because I realized ESPN was in Connecticut, and I didn't think I could make it in Connecticut. I mean, I've always like shot myself out of whatever lofty thing I thought. Now, I will say, I don't know career-wise where I thought I would be, but I definitely thought I'll be happily married for 20, at this point, 23 years and have,
Well, what kid goes like, I'm going to be 3 times divorced probably when I'm,
Right. I mean, if you had told me like, you're going to be I mean, if you had told me I was
Okay.
going to be single and all
Now,
that,
there are plenty of people I looked at and said they'll be 3 times divorced, but I don't think most people look at themselves going, probably married a couple times.
Oh yeah, I thought married kids, which I was married kids, same.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I've done it.
I had unrealistic goals. Like I wanted to play for the Dodgers. I wanted to be on ESPN. And then ultimately I wanted to do what I'm doing now. I had no idea it would be like this. So really it worked out for me because ESPN works people to death. I don't love the way ESPN operates day to day now. So
but
and
you've
I'm not
also
talented enough to play for the Dodgers.
like lived your dream.
Yeah,
you did.
No, so yeah, it's been good.
You dipped your toe in enough pools to be like, you went out to California.
Yep.
You saw.
Yeah, I wanted to act when I was in college. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, you saw what that was like. You got a little taste of it.
In retrospect, I'm glad it didn't work out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it even came close. It was as far away as you could possibly get. But I think if I would have stayed out there 10 years, I might have been doing a bad soap opera or a Dentyne commercial, something like that. Yeah. But I think everything does work out for a reason.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Well, I look at mine and I'm like, gosh, if anything had not gone the way that it went, I would have never had the Netflix and Last Chance U, which that's the event that changed my life the most. So I'm like, it all worked out.
Well, in Scuba, Mississippi.
Right.
Like that. I mean, you're like of all the most unlikely places for you to have a life-changing event.
Yeah, and nobody dreams. I didn't dream of my dream is to work in Scuba, Mississippi. Like you don't dream that, but then that led me to.
Yeah, and what's so insane is for Netflix to end up in Scuba and all the other places they could have ended up.
Especially when they did, because Netflix wasn't what Netflix is now. Like now it wouldn't be that strange for them to end up in Scuba because there's 1,900 sports documentaries filmed in tiny towns, but we started that. Like then for them to show up in Scuba, we all thought it was a joke. Like it's not for real.
Going back to Miami, Ohio, you wanted to get into sports.
Yeah.
And I mean, you started smaller markets. You made your way to Birmingham.
Yeah, I went to Ottumwa, Iowa, to Kirksville, Missouri, to Topeka, Kansas, to Birmingham, Alabama,
and then the rest is history. The funny thing is, I meet so many people that I met some people in broadcasting last night. We were out watching the game at Walk-Ons, and they were all from different parts. And it's like they're all in Birmingham now. And I don't know if they're leaving or not. But there's so many people that get here and they don't want to leave.
Yeah, I mean, I can honestly tell you this was not my intentional last stop. I mean, I will never forget. We always have had trouble for some reason, and not anymore. But we always had trouble with cable and internet. And like the same guy came out to our house. So it like became like friendly with him.
In Birmingham?
Yeah. And this is right after I got pregnant with the triplets. And like I ran into him and he's like, well, how are you doing? This is like out on the street. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're not gonna believe I'm pregnant with triplets. He goes, you want to hear God laugh? Tell him your plans. And I was like, that is truly like everything. Like, absolutely. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this.
How you remember that?
Oh, I totally do. And I just like ever since it's been like, you want to hear God laugh? Tell him your plans. Because there have been so many crossroads in my life. Like I started dating my husband. I got an offer to go to Atlanta. Like just different things that happen, like different phone calls that have come at different times. And I'm like, obviously I feel like I've made the right choice each time, but just, it is interesting to see, like, if you're doing that movie of like, if I choose this, choose your own adventure, your own adventure. Like,
so there's
what
a
would
movie
have
called
happened?
Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow. I've never seen it. And there's another one that I haven't seen either, but it's you choose the path and what really happens.
I had this crazy.
And I do wonder about that all of the time.
I had a crazy, this was like, I come up with movie plots all the time. And one of my movie plots was, okay, so you are about to die for whatever reason, you're about to die. And you're given this moment of like, okay, you have two choices. You can either continue on to the afterworld, whatever it may be for you, or you can return to the world, but your life will be different. It will not be the same life you lived.
But you'll be you.
You'll be you, but like you don't necessarily.
Like you can wake up on an underpass, right?
You could you could wake up and like say you wake up and you are.
I would do it.
Like like you're all of a sudden you're married and have 6 kids and living in Utah and like having to talk. Yeah, the
as long as I'm
Am I married to somebody rich?
You're an elder in the LDS and you're Mormon. Like just like.
Hey, Bill Paxton had it pretty good.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I had this concept of like, wow,
rotation of 3.
That was.
I was going to say
that was one of the best series. It was,
I gave it up though. I
crazy.
didn't get to see the end, and I heard everybody that watched because that was in real
Oh, I
time.
watched
before you could watch it on demand, and what happens to Bill Paxton's character at the end? Everybody was like in shock.
I loved that. I loved it because I am fascinated with like that level of like sister wives. Because I'm like, it's like a great white shark. I want to see it. I'm like fast, but I don't really want to get too close.
Yeah.
So like, that's a whole like, how do you get to that point where you're like, I'm cool with having a husband and 3 other sister wives and all these kids and
everybody's got to agree.
And I'm gonna get my own planet, and that's a whole. Sorry.
Okay. Next round, cocktail.
That was a sidebar.
With
Sorry.
Kelly Hunter and Brittany Wagner. I'm Lance Taylor from the next round. It's brought to you by Constellation Brands. We're drinking the Naomi, the Pinot Noir. It's very, very good.
And Sprite.
It's got a great texture to it, good fruitiness, and Sprite, which we all know
it's got fruitiness.
It's Lyman. It's the original Lyman.
Also brought to you by Blakelee's Bouquets. Again, new baby gifts, birthday flowers, Easter flowers, whatever you want. These guys, best in the business. Go to Blakelee'sBouquets.com for more information there. Michael says, LT, you're living the dream now. I want to be you when I grow up.
Oh,
I mean, that's the thing.
I don't think you do. There's more complications than you think.
Well, here's the thing. I always tell people that I'm so proud of what y'all have done because y'all bet on yourselves and you look where you've come now. So like you bet on your ability and your listeners and everything. And
very, very sweet of you.
No, you did. I'm proud of you.
Okay, let me ask you guys this one.
Lay it on us.
Okay, something you don't have to do anymore because the kids are older. I got older kids. Like my youngest 15. Your youngest 15. 14.
My youngest are just turning 12 today. And this came to me because the ad for Super Mario Brothers movie came on the other night.
Which looks awful, but I never really played Super Mario Brothers.
Well, okay, it doesn't matter about play because it's the concept of having to take your children to go see these movies. They're crazy excited. It's going to cost you about $100 to go, to feed them, to sit, and you're sitting there and you don't want to be there because you don't want to be spending 2.5 hours watching this. And I was like, they're at the age now where I can go drop them off. I would sit there and I'd either read my book, I'd do a crossword puzzle, I'd play on my phone. I was trying to war asleep. I've done that.
Yeah, the Peanuts movie. I forgot how long ago. It was one of the last ones I went to, but I was out cold.
If you go to the ones where you can like recline.
Are they not like hitting you like your kids?
Oh, where you can like the recliners where you can like lay back. And I did that through one of the Hotel Transylvania movies. I just had back surgery. And the kid, I was like, let's go.
Well, you know what's so bad now is like I took mine to see Cocaine Bear opening night.
But see, now you can do that.
But see, I enjoy that. Like I had them in Gillette Saturday night in Innisfree Saturday night in Tuscaloosa.
Those are, I saw that post and I was like, surely he's kidding. You were not kidding.
I wasn't kidding.
Oh my gosh.
But isn't that also liberating? Like I like being able to also use like bad words now again. Because for the longest time it was like
I don't let the kids drink, obviously. I'm one of those when they get out of high school and they're in college, they can pretty much do what they want to a degree. But like, they're still really respectful. I just want them to see some stuff. Not bad stuff necessarily.
But also it's like, it's normal, guys. You don't want to make something abnormal so that then they're like, what is this?
Yeah.
I want to explore this. It's just, it's life.
Yeah. Okay, to answer that question, I'm sitting here trying to think, like, what is something that I don't have to do anymore? I don't have to be responsible for every meal anymore.
Ooh,
because Kennedy can cook her own food.
Wow.
And I try not to like make her do that, but I can say like, look, I've got nothing on tap for dinner. You're on your own. We'll have on your own nights, and she'll get in there and like make breakfast for dinner or make spaghetti or make.
Does that include her making for you?
If I say that I want some, she will.
Scramble an egg for me, that kind of stuff.
Like she will do it. And I don't have to do it. And that is great.
But I hope she doesn't cook that up because I bet you'd want a mimosa, wouldn't you?
No. I will have water.
I hate breakfast for dinner. My kids
love
love
breakfast for dinner. It's my favorite.
Most people do.
I freaking love
Ryan
it.
Brown gets mad at me because I say it's redneck.
No, it's not.
I mean, a little bit.
Okay.
I do some redneck stuff. It's a little bit redneck.
You go to Waffle House at 2 a.m.
Is this a PTSD moment? Like, is this something from childhood that you're like, I have always hated breakfast for dinner?
We would randomly do it at the fraternity house. I took the kids by the fraternity house this past weekend too.
Was the floor still sticky?
So yeah, but it's different. Like the fraternity house has gotten so big in Tuscaloosa. So like our old fraternity house is still standing and it's another fraternity now, but the new fraternity house is like really, really big. and it's got like 50 rooms. And I went and showed them my composite, which was really funny. But the band room is still sticky.
Still sticky.
Yeah.
It's not.
Ew.
Oh, the sticky floors.
I'll tell you, I was not and I don't know how good of a parent I am now, but when the kids were like 2 and under, that just wasn't my jam at all. Like, I didn't want to wipe ass. I did sometimes. I didn't want to bathe. I do.
Well, we don't have to do that anymore.
I know.
Oh, gosh.
But those are the
good.
things that I try to tell guys, and some guys are into that, which is awesome.
They come home from work and they're like, "This is my time." Like, I do. I like guys where I'm like, they get home from work, like, I'm gonna bathe. I'm gonna get them ready for bed. You can go, and I didn't have that in my house.
No, and Bethany didn't have it at our house. And I look back and I wish I would have taken more moments. Like, I always put them to bed with her, things like that. But yeah, I think sometimes you take it for granted, especially when you're in a zone and the kids are always there.
Yeah.
And then when they're not one day,
I know that's what I was saying earlier. Like,
that,
it's bittersweet that you don't have to do these things anymore, because then you're like I was thinking, oh, it'll be so great when I don't have to drive Kennedy around everywhere, when she can drive herself.
Mhm.
But then there's a part of me that's like, oh, but that'll be so sad.
I joked last night.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll never see her.
So I saw you at lunch a couple of times at Inverness. I guess it was the elementary school.
Yeah.
No,
No, it was the middle school.
I got to go to the middle school
Middle
still
school.
for lunch.
Yeah.
And so we were doing 6 to 10, and I would go 3 or 4 times a week.
Mhm.
So I knew all of Jack's classmates, and I'd sit there. I'll never forget. I think it was May 23rd. Don't want to tear up here. But my last badge I got, and I knew that was the last time I was going to be able to eat lunch with him. And I've still got it on my vanity at home.
Yeah, it's
It hits different.
Because
I got so used to it.
That was
loved
that was one thing I hated. I hated going to have lunch with
Oh,
them.
see, I loved
I
it.
did
I
too.
loved it.
Watching some kid pick like a chicken wing, just like
I just
I was
grill
like,
them.
oh,
I like talking and asking questions, and so I would just
too.
pop them all.
like
just
Big Daddy,
nonstop. Yeah.
Adam Sandler and Big Daddy.
I knew all their names though, and I would once a week I would eat the school lunch.
Well,
I never ate the lunch, but I loved going. The thing I miss the most is like that excitement when they're little, when they see you,
Oh, yeah.
like when I would pick her up from school, or Kennedy went to the Boys and Girls Club when she
instead
was
of the eye
little.
roll.
And that excitement when I walked in the door, like the running and like the just sheer like.
I get that from
adoration.
Lady Bird,
Oh.
you know.
I was going to say my
know.
dogs do it, and
Yeah.
I love it when my dogs do it, because Kennedy is like.
That's
Does
today.
Rooster do it?
Oh, every time I walk in the door, Roosty's right there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
God bless you. It's gonna be you. And I was told him today. I go, part of your pack is turning 12 today, buddy. It's gonna be you and me in a few years. And
Yeah.
I know. God bless. I mean, that's the animals. What would we do without them?
We turn sad. I don't know. I really don't.
I know.
Best things in the world. Next, we're on Cocktail Hour. Brittany Wagner, Kelly Hunter. I'm Lance Taylor. Like, subscribe, tell everybody about it. We're about to wrap here. Brittany, I can't wait to get like an update on this. Are you going to keep it up on social media? You post a lot of
I haven't
inspirational stuff.
posted that on social media
Okay.
that
This
I'm
was
not
like
drinking.
this was a declaration here.
But I mean, I
this is
can't. This
where-
was the declaration.
Okay.
No, but I think it would be important that you
That
could.
I posted it.
Well, no, that you could post and say, "Hey, look, there's people out there that might be struggling with alcohol."
Or
Look,
inspire others to join you.
yeah.
Oh God.
We'll have to
I
Maybe.
mean, I've
With a
never heard of a
catchy
dry
slogan.
April. I've heard of dry January.
Yeah.
Dry January.
No
I'm trying to think
drink
of it.
November, is that a thing? Or
No
that's
shave.
No
No
shave.
shave.
No
Uh,
shave.
So I'll do that next
Yeah.
November.
Yeah. I mean, hey, this
don't
can
know.
be yours. You're
Dry
claiming.
April.
You're claiming April.
I'm claiming it.
Yeah, Tristan Thompson's trying to do no ass April.
Good for him.
Well, maybe I'm doing that too.
Let me go along with the no drinking.
Let me
Who
add a
knows?
third thing.
Who knows? Who knows?
Hey, again, we really appreciate everybody from Blakelee's Bouquets. Again, if you need a new baby gift, any kind of anniversary arrangement, just treat the wife or girlfriend to flowers.
They're busy.
You can do it at
And prom.
BlakeLee'sBouquets.com. Constellation Brands, Naomi.
Mhm.
Do you guys have any Easter plans?
Taking my mom to brunch.
Okay.
Me, my mom, and Kennedy will
Have
go to brunch.
Have you already booked it?
Yep.
Okay.
Good for you.
Mhm. You know, last year I had to exit brunch early because I was hungover and about threw up.
You
Because
wanna-
of Charlotte Ann.
Oh,
Because of CA.
yeah, good friend. Yeah.
I went out with her the night before and I was hungover and sick.
You won't have to
So
worry
I
about
won't have
this
to worry
year.
about that this year. I'm going to
You'll
make
be-
it through the whole
There is something
brunch.
about not having a hangover.
Mhm.
There was, well, this has nothing to do with it. There was one year, my little three, because, you know, Easter's a floating holiday. So their 10th birthday was on Easter Day. And I was like, okay, here's what we got to do. We're going to celebrate the risen Lord first, and then y'all turn 10. All right, rock and roll. Big day. I was exhausted, but I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, we're going to knock both these
Yeah.
out, and it's going to be amazing.
Well, this is where we talk advice, adventure, adulting. We appreciate everybody tuning in.
what-
Hey,
Tell your
you know what
friends.
we don't have to do this year?
What?
An Easter egg hunt.
Oh, we do.
Oh,
We
No,
do.
we don't.
I
We
don't.
do forever.
Cheers to
I
that.
loved it as a kid, though. It was one of my. I love Peeps, which nobody likes.
I liked it as a kid, but not.
And I love the Easter egg hunt. So hopefully, wherever you are watching, listening, tell your
Yeah.
friends. Tune in every Tuesday now at 3:30,
And
have a wonderful Easter.
Yeah.
And
do we need
we'll-
anybody to look after you this weekend? Do we need to like auction you off or?
Ryan Brown's
need
gonna
to.
do
I
it.
don't think anybody's going to want to.
I told you you can come to the Taj Mahals and
The Taj Mahal's got too many kids.
it's got a lot. Yeah,
Too many
but
kids. I want
but
more
yeah, no.
kids. I want a good like Hugh Hefner like robe.
I mean,
I want
well,
some good Netflix.
The Bohemian.
I need edibles, smoothies.
this sounds delightful. This
Yeah.
sounds like a nice vacation. So I wish you well. I'll be thinking about
I
you.
appreciate
We
that.
will
See you in 2.
I know.
Hopefully, yeah. If I'm back in 2,
No.
we're good.
You're gonna be back in 2. What are
Okay.
you talking
Yeah, you
about?
will.
We're going to be back in 2.
Two.
So anyway, cheers. See you guys soon.
Cheers.